For this question, we have 0.7 times 0.02753. So again, let's set up our problem with writing our first number on top, and then our second number on the bottom, and then our multiplication sign followed by our line. Now again, we're going to start with our bottom number and take our digit furthest to the right and multiply it by every digit on top. So first we have 3 times 7, which gives us 21. So we'll bring the 1 down here and then carry the 2 up top. Now we have 3 times 0, which gives us 0, but 0 plus the 2 that we carried gives us 2. So we're at the 2 down here. Now we're done with this 3 and this 2 that we carried, and we can move on to the next digit over, which is the 5. So because we're moving on to the next digit, we want to add a 0 below. So now we have 5 times 7, which gives us 35. So we'll bring the 5 down here and carry the 3 up top. Now we have 5 times 0, which gives us 0, and then 0 plus the 3 that we carried gives us 3. So we're at that below here. Now we're done with this 5 and this 3 that we carried, and we can move on to our next digit. But because we're moving on to the 7, and there are 2 digits behind it, we have to add 2 zeros to our next row. Now 7 times 7 is 49, so we bring our 9 down here and carry the 4 up top. 7 times 0 is 0, but 0 plus the 4 that we carried gives us 4. Now we're done with this 7 and this 4 that we carried, and we can move on to our next digit in the bottom. But because we're moving on to the 2, there are 3 digits behind it, so we have to add 3 zeros to the bottom row. Now we have 2 times 7, which gives us 14, so we bring the 4 down here and carry the 1 up top. Now we have 2 times 0, which gives us 0, but 0 plus the 1 that we carried gives us 1. Now in our previous questions, when we had zeros multiplied by digits on top, we would write out our whole row of zeros down below here. But in this case, we don't have to write the zeros because we know that anything multiplied 0 is going to give us 0. So that means we can just leave these next 2 rows blank because our next 2 digits are both zeros. So now that we have all of our digits on the bottom, we can add our numbers up, and then add our zeros to our answers accordingly. So starting with the far right, we have 1 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0 to give us 1, 2 plus 5 plus 0 plus 0 plus to give us 7, 3 plus 9 plus 0 to give us 12, so we bring the 2 down and carry the 1, 4 plus 4 to give us 8, plus the 1 we carried gives us 9, and then we end with a 1. So now that we have all of our digits in our final answer, we have to worry about our decimal. In our original question, we have 0.7 with 1 digit behind the decimal, and 0.02753 with 5 digits behind the decimal. So 1 plus 5 gives us 6, and we're left with 6 digits behind our decimal in our final answer. So if we start here, we bring our decimal over once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, and 6 times to end our decimal right here. But because we jumped a place with no number, we will add a 0, and then we will add a 0 before our decimal. So our final answer of 0.7 times 0.02753 is 0.01927 as our final answer.